I'm on the nutrition committee of the American College of Cardiology. We published a paper recently where we surveyed how much nutrition training does the average doctor get in 4 years of medical school. And it turns out it's about 4 hours a year. And then we looked at the average amount of training in nutrition that the average cardiologist gets in 4 years of fellowship training, and it's 0. You know, we're trained to use drugs in surgery, we're reimbursed to use drugs in surgery, so we use drugs in surgery. Abraham Maslow once said, if the only tool you have is a hammer, you tend to see everything as a nail, and I think there's a lot of truth to that. Unfortunately, if you go to your doctor, the doctor says, take these pills to lower your blood pressure or your cholesterol or your blood sugar, and they say, doctor, how long do I have to take these? The doctor usually says, forever. After doing this work for over 40 years, I'm really actually more optimistic than ever because on the one hand, the limitations of drugs and surgery are becoming increasingly well documented. People who are stable, who have heart disease, that have stents or angioplasties, they don't prevent heart attacks, they don't prolong life, and they don't even reduce chest pain. In the case of type 2 diabetes, and half of the American population today is diabetic or pre-diabetic, getting your blood sugar down with drugs doesn't prevent the horrible complications of diabetes, you know, things like amputations and impotence and kidney failure and heart attacks and strokes and so on. But getting it down with diet and lifestyle, you can prevent virtually all of them. Men with early stage prostate cancer who did nothing lived as long as those who had surgery or radiation, even though those treatments often maim guys in the most personal ways because they're often either impotent or incontinent or both, for no real benefit at huge economic costs. When a guy knows he's got a tumor growing in him, he wants to quite do something about it, and unfortunately the treatment is often worse than the disease. So now for the first time, we can give people a third alternative, showing that these same lifestyle changes that can reverse heart disease or diabetes can also slow, stop, and even reverse the progression of men with early stage prostate cancer. You know, I was trained, like all doctors, to view heart disease and diabetes and prostate cancer and Alzheimer's being different diseases, different treatments, different diagnoses, and so on. But I've come to believe that they're really the same disease, manifesting and masquerading in different forms because they all share the same underlying biological mechanisms. Things like chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, changes in telomeres and gene expression and the microbiome and apoptosis and angiogenesis and so on. And each one of these mechanisms, in turn, is directly influenced by what we eat, how we respond to stress, how much exercise we get, and how much love and support we have. Most people tend to think of advances in medicine as being something really high-tech and expensive, a new drug, a new laser, etc. And I think our unique contribution has been to use these very high-tech, expensive, state-of-the-art scientific measures to prove how powerful these very simple and low-tech and low-cost interventions can be. You know, even a single meal that's, for example, high in animal protein and fat and cholesterol can cause your blood to clot faster. It can reduce blood flow to your brain, to your skin, to your heart, to your sexual organs. We found, for example, we could reverse heart disease in just 3 weeks. You know, and so for someone who, you know, gets 30 or 40 episodes of chest pain a day, can't walk across the street without getting chest pain, or make love with their spouse, or play with their kids, or go back to work without having angina or chest pain, and usually within a few weeks they're essentially pain-free, then they say things like, oh, I connect the dots. When I do this, I feel good. When I do that, I don't feel so good. And for me, not having chest pain, they'll say, is worth not eating everything that I want. And then they're much more likely to make these changes, not to live longer, but to live better.